time to take it back. It's about time for a throwback. It's about time for the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. So I apologize if you were enjoying that tune and I spoiled it for you, okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to kill your vibe, but it's about time to get started on the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent and I'm your host as usual. We'll be talking about several different issues that made headlines during the week. Now the recap, yes, is that program where we talk about the issues that made major headlines during the week. We try to deep dive into these issues, look at them from several different angles, analyze these issues, talk about them with a view to finding a solution, right? And during the course of the conversation at about 5 p.m., the phone lines will be open so that you can contribute to the conversation via calls or via messages on our WhatsApp platform. We're also streaming live on YouTube. Now, all you need to do is head on over to YouTube and type into the search bar of the app VOP 90.3 FM, and you can get to watch what's happening in the studios live and direct. My name is Chioma Innocent. Before we get started on the recap, do tell a friend to tell a friend to come and listen with you, all right? Put your radio set in a central place where everyone can get to be a part of the conversation, okay? And also share the links with your friends and family on YouTube so that they can also get to enjoy what you are enjoying. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. What we do here is to make sure that we bring these issues to you, look at them from unbiased perspectives, and then we also give you a voice by making sure that you get to be a part of the program, okay? My name is Chioma Innocent. I would want to know your name and where you're calling from as the program progresses, but right about now, let's take a brief look into the issues which we'll be discussing today. First up, we'll be starting with the Nigeria Labour Congress, that is the NLC, proposing a 5% increase in the telecom tariff hike. Now, this is against the backdrop of the 50% approved by the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. The NLC is saying it will mobilize for a protest by February 4 if the hike in telecom tariff is not reduced from 50% to 5%. That will be our very first topic for today. Then we'll be looking at what Tinubu should have done before removing subsidy. Former Minister Rotimi Amechi. What Tinubu should have done before removing subsidy. Former Minister Rotimi Amechi. For topic number 3, we'll be looking at Presidency accuses El-Rufai of plotting to unseat Tinubu. And then from there, we'll also be looking at alleged defamation. Afe Babalola withdraws suit against Farutimi. We talked about this during the week and we'll be taking a look at it today as well. And finally, we'll be looking at NSAS protest was designed by Obedient to end Tinubu. This is according to BC Akonde. NSAS protest was designed by Obedient to end Tinubu. This is according to BC Akonde. These are the topics we'll be looking at on the recap this afternoon. As you know, I'm not alone in the studios. I do have my analyst right here, sitting right across from me right now, and he'll be analyzing these issues, taking a deep dive into them, looking at it from different perspectives, right, and just basically talking about it. The program will last from now until 6 p.m. but remember that at 5 p.m. the phone lines will be open so that you can contribute to the conversation. But the next voice you'll be hearing will be that of Mr. Peter Anosike, political, social and national affairs analyst, as well as a best-selling author. Welcome to the recap and good evening.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. NLC proposes 5% telecom tariff hike, mobilizes for February 4 purchase. Now, the spokesperson of the NLC, Benson Upa, made this known on Thursday when he appeared on the Monitor television program, saying that the NLC will be going on strike on February 4. That's on Tuesday next week if the tariff hike is not reduced from 50% to 5%. Now, according to Benson Upa, they keep on emasculating us through stupid taxes. This, I'm quoting him verbatim. It will come to a point when people can pay, but they won't pay. This really is to halt this mindless tariff increase. And if by any chance there has to be an increase at all, 5%, given the fact of our situation that there have been increases across the board, but now to say 50%, it is not going to work. Where will the ordinary Nigerians be at the end of the day when we have energy tariff increases? Now, the NLC also wrote to its affiliate unions and state councils to ensure total and full mobilization of workers and allies ahead of the February 4 protest against the planned 50% telecommunication tariffs hike. All right, Mr. Peter Anaske, on this tariff hike, right, the telecom operators wanted a 100% increase, but when they met with the NCC, they finally agreed on a 50% increase. But the NLC is saying 50% is too much in the face of the prevailing economic situation that Nigerians have found themselves in these times. It is too much to expect them to pay 50% more for the same service, sometimes abysmal, that they have been receiving. Last year, the NLC, through dialogue with the federal government, was able to get an increased minimum wage for workers in Nigeria. Do you think they will be able to achieve the same this time around by going on the strike?
Well, for me, what NLC is trying to do this time is selfish.
What the NLC is trying to do is selfish.
It is very, very selfish.
But they're fighting for all Nigerians. Because most people now use phones that have SIM cards in it. They buy recharge card, they buy data. How is that selfish of the NLC?
It is selfish and it is wicked on their own part. What Nigerians want mostly is reduction in the price of fuel. What Nigerians want mostly is affordable electricity. What Nigerians want mostly is affordable transport. What is the increase in the price of fuel from 2003 up till now? What has NLC done about it? What has NLC? Fuel is one thing that affects the whole Nigerians. Petrol. Because it affects everything. It affects cost of food, cost of transport. It even affects the rent that people pay. NLC is watching, and the government is increasing fuel every month. They never stage a protest. NLC is watching. Electricity hike is going on. They never protested. What they did was to secure their own salary increment. Understand? They have said, we heard that for the past 10 years, telecom industry has not increased their tariff. Mind you, there's nothing that you are buying in the last 10 years that is still at the same price. Cost of business is increasing on a daily basis in this country. So for me, these people has every right, because I know that in the past 10 years, they must have increased the salary of their workers. So there's no way things can be increasing and their own will remain the same.
So you're empathizing with telecom operators?
I should, because I'm a human being. I should put myself in the shoes of other people. There are more important fights that NLC should have fought, like the increase in the price of fuel, like increase in electricity. So for me, what they want to do is just pick and choose. If they go on this strike, it's going to be a colossal failure because Nigerians will not join them.
Why do you think so? The same Nigerians whom it is affecting?
What is affecting Nigeria is the cost of fuel, is the cost of food, not a hike in recharge cards. Understand me? There are needs, there are wants. There are needs and there are wants. And then we see leave our needs and begin to talk about our wants. It is wrong. It is selfish. It is wickedness on their part. So for me, I'm not in support of of any strike based on increment in price of recharge cards. Let them start
it's
from
not
fuel.
just recharge cards, right? People buy data as well online, and then that is what they use. If you had to buy 1 gigabyte of data, you've been buying it for maybe 500 or 1,000. You now have to pay 1,000.
That's not our problem.
What you're saying is not that that is
We
so
have
much of a problem, but we have bigger problems.
Yes, like increase in fuel, like electricity, like food. Understand me? So they should forget about if you look deep, you will see that there must be selfishness in this thing. Maybe some of them has gone for some kind of deals, which the telecom industry said no. Understand me? So the only thing is we are going to declare a nationwide strike. Telecom is not our problem. NPCL is our problem. Distribution companies is our problem. Price of food in the country is our problem. Security is our problem, not these people. And as I say, if they foolishly, I want to use that word foolish, if they foolishly declare strike, it will fail. Because this is not what is bothering us.
All right. One could say that they are starting with the one that they feel that they can win, especially since the whole fuel issue. It's not like you've not been talking about it. Like you said, your grounds is that they've not gone on a protest over the increase in the prices of fuel, right? Because, of course, most people are condemning the increase. But what if they are just starting with this one? They marched for increase in salaries, right? And that's what they marched for last year. So it was increased from 30 to 70,000 naira. And they got it. Yes. Right? The one for fuel. Everyone has been talking about how fuel subsidy was removed abruptly. And of course, you've heard the aides to the president talking about how the price of fuel cannot just fall in one day. Right? And now since everybody knows that and knows that the price of the price hike for fuel was due to removal of fuel subsidy, they know that that is a fight that they may not win. What if they are doing this one because that is the one that they feel that they can win? So
you don't know that increase in the removal of subsidy has affected Telecom's cost of business. You don't know that. They buy fuel, they buy diesel. So price of their business has increased. NLC fought for the increase in their own price, in their own wages. Now they don't want other people that to fight for their own. That's why I say it is selfish and wickedness.
You're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent. The voice you've been hearing belongs to Mr. Peter Anoski, and we've been talking about the NLC proposing a 5% telecom tariff hike and also mobilizing state and affiliate unions for a strike by February 4, a protest by February 4 if the telecom operators and the Nigerian Communications Commission, that is the NCC, does not accede to their demands of reducing it from 50% hike to 5% hike. But if you say that telecom operators just have to hike their prices for the same services they've been offering us all this while, isn't 50% too much? Because if you say, oh, they are also suffering from the effect of the removal of fuel subsidies, so are Nigerians, who are even much more poorer than these companies.
Mind you, NLC before 2022, their salary was 30,000 naira. That was the minimum wage. They complain about everything in the world. Put it at even 1,800,000, and at the end of the day, settled for 60,000, which is over how many percent increase. So the subsidy affected the cost of doing business in Nigeria. So if you don't increase, you go out of business. So this is common sense. This is common sense. If the price of fuel will go down, Telecom will reduce whatever they want to do. So we shouldn't leave the head and begin that to worry about the stomach. If they want that to strike, our problem is high cost of energy. That's electricity, fuel, high cost of food, insecurity. Let them go and begin short that protest over all those things.
All right, then we'll be moving on to our very next topic right here on the recap on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We've just talked about the NLC wanting to go on strike over the 50% increase in telecom tariff. All right, what Tinubu should have done before removing subsidy. Former Minister Rotimi Amechi, who's a former Minister of Transportation, has queried the removal of fuel subsidy by Bola Tinubu on his first day in office as Nigeria's president. Now, speaking at a two-day event earlier in the week, Amechi, who also served as the governor of Rivers State, said President Tinubu failed to prioritize or put into consideration the need for social housing and job creation before removing fuel subsidy. According to Amechi, providing such social safety nets would have created room for citizens to adjust swiftly to the new subsidy removal policy. He also said it would also create jobs and improve the flow of cash among citizens, especially those in the informal sector. However, stating that the removal of fuel subsidy was unavoidable for any Nigerian president, he said they would have done it different if he was elected as Nigeria's president. He questioned how prepared was the Tinubu government when they announced the removal? My wife and children asked me what I would have done differently. I would remove the subsidy, but I will not remove it without social housing. He said the government could make do with the funds saved from subsidy removal and the devaluation of the naira to ensure that the housing deficit challenge is tackled. It would seem that it was recently that Amechi's voice became clearer, louder. It's been over a year of this administration, and now he's just coming to tell us that fuel subsidy was not removed correctly.
He has been in mourning since, so he just coming out of it. That he has been mourning over what happened in 2022 APC presidential election. So it is just now that you know, some people can mourn for 1 year or 2 years. So he mourned for 2 years. So it's over. So he has now found his voice. The truth is that every right-thinking Nigerian would have removed subsidy, because subsidy, as we keep on saying, is a scam. But he asked a question: how prepared was Tinubu before he removed the subsidy? That is a leadership question. That's a leadership question. A leader will always, every action has its consequences. And that's how we know who a leader is. So, and a good leader, before he takes action, he will first of all think of the consequences. This is where Tinubu failed. So Tinubu said that he was overcome with courage as he was marching to the podium. Maybe Holy Spirit fell on him, understand? Go and do this. So he didn't think it through. It was an impromptu decision that he made without what? Preparation. So that's exactly what happened. There was no preparation before removing it, and that's leadership failure. They should have advised him before you remove subsidy, but this is what you should do before doing it. What are the consequences? He should have asked himself, what will be the consequences of me taking this action? One, it will lead to inflation. It will lead that to scarcity of basic commodities. How do we take care of these basic commodities before taking this action? So that's where Tinubu failed. And since then, he has continued to fail. And mind you, he inherited a government that was hemorrhaging on economy. Tinubu inherited a government that has failed in all indices of economy. I said that Tinubu inherited this economy when it was suffering from stage 4 cancer. So removing subsidy would not have solved that problem. What he should have done is to cut the cost of governance. Simple. That is what Tinubu would have done. Run a small government. And that's what John Mahama of Ghana is doing now. The former president of Ghana messed up the economy. So when John Mahama came in, the first thing that he did is he dissolved 7 ministries. That's 7 ministers were sacked. He did it to reduce cost of governance. That's what the president of Argentina did. Understand? So, but Tinubu continued on the part of infamy that he inherited from Buhari, on the part of wastefulness, on the part of squandermania that he inherited from Buhari. That's why we are in this mess at this point in time. So I know that Amechi is speaking because this government, he has been schemed out of this government. That's why he has now become an activist. But Tinubu did not do well by removing fuel subsidy without making preparation for the consequences of the action.
Talking about making preparation for the consequences of the action, Amechi mentioned certain things that he would have done. Talked about social housing. Talked about making sure that there stuff that there's things to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal on the citizens. Do you agree with him with such a social safety net that would have created room for citizens to just adjust to the new subsidy removal policy, rather, like social housing, job creation? What are these other things that could have been done?
He must have been reading from a textbook, because the economy that Tinubu inherited would not have been able to do it.
To create jobs.
The economy was dead. That's a fact. So he cannot create jobs. He cannot build the houses. What Tinubu would have done is to cut the cost of governance. Just reverse the wastage that was going on in Buhari's government. Understand? Because he did everything bad. An instance, this 160 million naira cars to the National Assembly is a very big waste. He should have been frugal. He should have been prudent in his government. And that would have sent a very big sign. If Tinubu has come out and say, I'm reducing the presidential feeding allowance by 50%, I'm reducing the size of my cabinet by 50%. Every other thing would have collapsed into it. But he continued running a bogus government that Buhari started. So that is it. There was no money to create a job or to build houses, because Buhari borrowed for 8 years. He didn't build anything. He borrowed, and you cannot do anything when you are running such kind of government.
All right, then you're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We have been talking about quite a number of issues that made major headlines during the week, and we'll now proceed in our discussion to our topic number 3. Presidency accuses El-Rufai of plotting to unseat Tinubu. The presidency has accused the former Kaduna State governor of plotting to unseat the president. El-Rufai, who was one of the speakers at a national conference on strengthening democracy on Monday in Nigeria, which was held in Abuja, lambasted the All Progressives Congress, that's the ruling APC, for failing to fulfill its promises to citizens. He hinged his attacks on the party's leaders on his determination to force them to change. When asked if he was abandoning the party which he helped in forming and nurturing, he replied, "I'm not leaving the APC. I don't have such plans. I only want them them to change. He described the state of governance and opposition in the country as a national emergency. He blamed the problem of democracy in the country on the illiterate, semi-illiterate, and cunning people in the positions of leadership. With El-Rufai saying that he's not leaving the APC, he doesn't have such plans, but he is attacking the party's leaders because he's determined to force them to change. Right. This is almost the same thing that many Nigerians have been calling for: a change in the leadership, a change in the government at the federal level to reflect the will and the wishes of the citizens. Would the APC now respond, now that it's coming from inside the house, or would they rather attack El-Rufai and say it's because he did not get any position in President Tinubu's government and that's why he's talking?
Well, that's why they accuse him of trying to
unseat the president.
To unseat or the president. So in this issue, we have to look at the messenger as one as the message. One, who is sending this message? What is his motive? Amechi, like El-Rufai is.
Please go ahead.
Amechi, like El-Rufai is bitter. Understand? Amechi, like El-Rufai is bitter. If there's number one supporter of Tinubu from the North before 2022, it was El-Rufai. But not for the interest of the country, but rather on his own ambition. Understand? Because he thought that he would have been used as a vice president. That was the game. That's what he was saying, that power must go to the south. Power must go to the south, that it must be Tinubu. Understand me? Because already there were understanding, but he, as a politician, he also know that politicians don't keep promises. Politicians don't keep promises. When Emefiele and Buhari came with their new Naira notes, El-Rufai was the first person that went to court to challenge it. According to him, it was because of Tinubu. So that is it. So he didn't get a vice president. He also he lobbied for the chief of staff to the president. He did not get, because in Nigeria, the democracy, in Nigeria's system of government, chief of staff is more powerful than the vice president. Understand? Chief of staff is far more powerful than the vice president. Just like governor's chief of staff is more powerful than the deputy governor. So he not be there for the chief of staff, which he did not get. Secretary to the government of the federation, no. So he went on mourning too, like Amechi. Understand? So now their eyes have opened. Their mourning is over. So that's why they are criticizing now.
If these criticisms are a result of mourning, like you have said, that means it's for personal interest and not in the interest of the nation.
It's for personal interest. They are bitter. They are bitter. They now know how to throw stones, because the system is not favoring them.
Even though they still live in these glass houses, for El-Rufai, who's still a member of the APC and says he's not ready to leave the party at any time, which means he agrees with what's going on in the party, right? Even if the call is coming from inside the house and is criticizing the current administration, if he's not ready to leave the party, and if, as he is someone who was instrumental in the becoming of President Tinubu in 2023, can he remove himself, extricate himself from this administration and its policies and reforms?
He has been replaced by Sheikh Sani. So Tinubu has used Sheikh Sani to replace him. Understand? So he has become an outsider, both in government and in APC.
When you say replaced as what? Because Shehu Sani is not holding any political position in this government.
Yes. But Shehu Sani has become a praise singer. Understand? Between 2015 and 2023, El-Rufai was in government. Understand? And then Shehu Sani was throwing stones at the government. But from 2023, power changed hand. So El-Rufai, they brought Shehu Sani in government. Mind you, about last year, they invited Shehu Sani to Aso Rock to come and deliver a paper. It was just a message to El-Rufai that your days are over. Understand? It was just a message to El-Rufai that your days are over. Because what they simply did was to choose his enemy. Because it was El-Rufai that stopped Shehu Sani from going to the Senate in 2019. So in 2019, El-Rufai used Obasani, the current governor of Kaduna State, to stop Shehu Sani from going to the Senate. So since then, El-Rufai began that Shehu Sani was throwing stones at Buhari's government. Now waiting for his own opportunity. His own opportunity has now come. Understand me? So this shows you that these people don't have the interest of the masses at heart. They don't care about the masses. It's about their own selfishness. But the message that he sent is what is in the mind of every conscious Nigerian, because most Nigerians are not even conscious. Understand? Most Nigerians don't know what is happening to them and where what is happening to them is coming from. Understand? And somebody who don't know where rain starts beating him will not know where it stopped. That's why in 2027, some Nigerians may still make the mistake that they made in 2023, because they are not conscious of what is happening to them and where it is coming from. So what they are doing is a kind of an eye opener. Things are not well. Things are not well. But they are saying this because they are no more in the system. Understand? So we should be able to know the motive of the messenger and then the message. The message is right. Rotimi Amechi's message is right. El-Rufai message is right. But it is coming from bitter souls, bitter minds.
Who you feel are not doing it in the interest of the people, but because of their own
they have been skimmed out of
grievances.
they have been skimmed out of the system.
24 minutes before 5 p.m. right here on the number one station that gives you a voice. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. You're tuned into the recap right here on Voice of the People, and the voice you've been hearing belongs to Mr. Peter Anosike. This is the recap where we discuss and analyze issues that made the major headlines during the week, and we've discussed three of these issues, starting with the NLC saying it will be going on strike on Tuesday, February 4, if the telecom operators do not reduce the hike from 50% to 5%. Then we've also looked at former Minister of Transportation and former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi speaking on what Tinubu should have done before removing subsidy. As he's saying, the president should have put certain cushions in place to make it easier for Nigerians to bear the brunt of the removal of fuel subsidy. Then we've just looked at the presidency accusing El-Rufai of plotting to unseat Tinubu. That's what we've just talked on. We'll be moving on to Affirming withdrawing the alleged defamation suit against Dele Faritimi. This happened on Monday, where Affirming agreed to withdraw the cases instituted against the activist and lawyer Dele Faritimi. Now, following his petition to the police commissioner in Ekiti State that Faritimi defamed him, the police arrested Faritimi and arraigned him before two courts in Ekiti State. Faritimi stood trial for alleged criminal defamation before an Ekiti State Magistrate Court in Ado Ekiti, as well as stood trial for alleged cyberbullying before the Ado Ekiti Division of the Federal High Court. Now, Afebala came out to say that the Oni of Ife, Obadeye, Ogunwusi, and other top traditional rulers at a meeting spoke to him, and he agreed to finally withdraw the case. Following that, the very next day, right, the IGP also withdrew the case of cyberbullying against Farotimi. All of these withdrawals, would you say it is pointing to the fact that the case had no merit in the first place?
In boxing, there are sizes. Or they have in boxing there are sizes, or they have a heavyweight, a bantamweight, cruiserweight, and so on and so forth. Understand? So if you want to go into boxing, you have to pick your size. If you don't pick your size, you will get killed in the ring. It's the same thing that's in the society. So what Afe Babanoda did was face saving. What he did by withdrawing that case was face saving, because I said it on this program that there is no way he will win that case. There's no way he will win that case, because one, even if we drag it for 20 years, he's making Dene Farotemi popular. Now the court jails Farotemi still wins. Understand me? Because there are two courts everywhere: the conventional court and the court of conscience. The court of conscience, which is the people's court, the court of God, the court of the mind, the court of justice are on the side of Dene Farotemi. So there's nothing that he can do to win. Understand? Because what everybody is seeing Dene Farotemi as a victim of the Nigerian state. So they are already on his own side. So the only thing that he can do is to make him more popular and nothing more. So if the case continues till 30 years, it will be in favor of Dene. There's no two reason about it. So what he did is face saving. And even from day one, I was saying that he should go and withdraw that case, because he cannot. Don't start a fight that you cannot win.
If it is really face saving, recall that the traditional rulers were not the first people to start appealing to him, right? Others had also appealed to him, including Obi and several other people had appealed to him.
Now you must do gara. Understand? They begged me, and I went and withdraw. Understand me? So that's the thing. Then, but there's one statement that Afe made. He said that talk to me. Understand? Because I know that from 1999 to 2007, Afe Babanoda was Obasanjo's personal legal consultant. Afe Babanoda made all his money under Obasanjo, because in the 90s, Rotimi Williams was the number one. Understand me? Rotimi Williams was number one, never Afe. Understand me? That is even why it was Rotimi Williams that wrote the Constitution. So now saying that Obasanjo appealed to you and you say no was a shock to me, because sometime in 2006, I went to Obasanjo's house with Dene Adowo. Femi Adowo. Femi Adowo is the uncle to Aki Adowo. Aki Adowo was the first Western Governor General. So me and him went to Obasanjo's house in 2006. And when we got there, the professor of the vice chancellor of Bell University then was there. then Obasanjo, and some people who came, it could be some civil society civil society group came there, and they were telling Obasanjo that that was 2006, that this term he is now is still his first term. Understand? That 1999 that to 2003 was a military constitution. Therefore, that term shouldn't count. Understand? So that by that 2006, that it was still his own first term. Understand? So those people were even quoting some sections of the constitution. And for me, I was trying that to understand what is going on. That's how this issue of second term starts. Understand? So Obasanjo asked them, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" They say yes, that this thing that this term now is his first term. So Obasanjo now say, well, that they should that he will call the Afe, understand me, and ask him if what they were saying is true. Do you understand that?
Understand
so Obasanjo told them that he will call Afe Babanoda to know if what they are saying is true. There are more than 1 million lawyers in the country, but it was only Afe and Babanoda that Obasanjo mentioned. That he said that he will call them. He will call Afe Babanoda to know what those people we are saying is true. Understand? So this third term that these people are talking about, some people sold it to Obasanjo. It didn't come out of him. He did not originate a third term. Some sycophants brought it to his house, and they wanted that to convince him into it. But whether he later bought it or not is what I don't know. But my concern is this. And when those people came there, what the name that Obasanjo mentioned was Afe, that he would call Afe and ask him whether if what they were saying is true, that he entered through a military constitution, therefore 99 to 2003 does not count. Understand me? So he and Obasanjo has been jointly good friends, very good friends. So I'm now wondering why he said that Obasanjo spoke to him and he said no. So in Nigeria today, there are people who you cannot threaten with police, with army, even with prison, or even with killing them. Understand me? There are people who you cannot threaten with, "I'll call police, I'll take you that to court." And let me just mention some of them. Chima Obani, although dead now, Bamidene Aturu, understand? Then Farotomi, Omoyonde Showore, and Ibuchuku Ezeke. Understand me? These are people who you cannot threaten, because to them they are already dead. So it's not everybody that you can just take to court or use court to this thing to threaten. That's why I was talking about picking your size. Know who you are fighting. Understand me? And these people, they are not later day activists like Rotimi Amechi and Yarofai. Understand? They are not complaining now because they have been schemed out. All of them started from their university days. Ibuchuku Ezike was in Obafemi Awolowo University. Chima Obani, Bamidene Aturu, we are in Nsukka. Then Farotomi was at Lagos State University. Then what's his name? Showore was at Akoka. That's where they all started. Understand? So it's not that the government did them bad, or they have been schemed out. These are people who felt injured by the system. Understand me? So that is what people should know. That is what people should know. It is not everybody that you can use a police to threaten or use court to threaten. If I should go deep more, I can talk about some time ago. That's around 1983. Understand? 1983. Then Sheikh Shagari was the president. Next Kweme was the vice president. Then where we are living then in Nsukka, the Minister of Health, Daniel Ugu, was living in our street. So one day, Ekweme was coming to pay courtesy visit to the Minister of Health. They bought a big cow for gift to the president, to the vice president. So me and two other boys, I was 13 then, we have to go and cut that rope and chase that cow into the bush. Understand me? I was 13 years old then. Why? Because as a vice president, the only government presence that Ekweme attracted to Anambra was a prison at Oko. Understand me? The only government presence in Anambra then was a prison at Oko. That's Oko prison. So when the Minister of Health now bought that cow that's as a gift, that's I called to other boys. This thing must not happen. We went. They tied that cow at the back of the minister's house. So what we did was we cut that rope and chase it into the bush. Come back there and stay. When they now say presentation of when the MC announced presentation of gift, he told the two men to go to the back of the house and bring the cow. They went there. They did not see anything. Understand? So the minister now, they told him, and the Ekweme sensed danger and decided, I know that he's not welcome there. Understand me? So this thing, no, you shouldn't wait to be aggrieved. You shouldn't wait to be cheated before you begin to say the right thing.
So you adopt that stance of if it affects Nigerians, even if it doesn't affect me directly, I'll still speak for them.
You shouldn't wait until it affects you. If you begin to wait until it affects you, then when it will affect you, there will be nobody that will speak on your behalf. If you wait for it to affect you, there will be nobody to speak on your behalf, because Malcolm X said, our life begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter.
You're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. This is the station that gives you a voice, and we always try to highlight the things that matter right here on VOP 90.3 FM. You have been tuned in to the recap. All right, let's take our very last topic because of our time is 8 minutes before 5 p.m. Want to look at all these topics before 5 so that at 5 p.m. we can open the phone lines for your contribution, your opinions, and your suggestions. The NSAS protest was designed by obedience to end Tinubu. BC Akonde, former governor of Osun State and erstwhile chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, BC Akonde, has said that the 2020 NSAS protest across Nigeria was designed to end the President Tinubu's career. All right. Now, he said that it was designed by people in America. He spoke while speaking on State Affairs, actually a podcast anchored by Edmond Obilo. He explained that the obedience a movement that supported Peter Obi in 2023, designed the protest from America. They brought it to Nigeria to destabilize Tinubu's political career, and that's why they actually, some people attacked some structures that they thought belongs to the incumbent president when he wasn't even president at all that time. We've asked certain questions on this during the week. I want to know your opinion on this, and Chief Bisi Akonde coming to say this, and I'll keep reiterating that the word obedient did not come into the political dictionary until 2022 when Obi came out to vie for the presidency and his supporters coined that name for themselves. What is the correlation? Please keep it polite and keep it civil. You can respond.
The issue is this. My concern is this: our elder statesmen don't want to rest in peace. That is what is worrying me. Our elder statesmen don't want to rest in peace. Because
is it not somebody that is diseased that rests in peace, Mr. Anuske, or that is told to rest in peace, or required to rest in peace, or wished to rest in peace?
If you open up a lot of canker worms when you are still alive, when you die, you will not rest in peace. Understand me? Because people will keep on cursing you, people will keep on abusing you. As far as I'm concerned, death does not change anything. When they say, don't say ill about a dead person, if a bad person dies, death had not turned him into a saint. If a bad person dies, death so there's nothing like don't say ill about a dead person. If somebody don't want bad things to be said about him or her, he should stop doing bad things. So Bisi Akonde is a very, very old man, and we are told that wisdom comes
with old age.
With old age, but I don't know if Nigeria, if it is the opposite. I don't know if it has become the opposite in this country. One, in 2020, Atiku Obi case was still in the Supreme Court. That's after 2019 election, they went to court. By 2020, they have not given judgment on that case. So Peter Obi was still a bona fide member of PDP. It was in 2022 when in 2020, Peter Obi is still vice presidential candidate to Atiku. So then how can there be obedience in 2020? So that's the question. How can there be obedience in 2020? Obedience came when Peter Obi become a flag bearer of a party. And that was 2022 when he has left PDP. Then why are you now trying to kind of what Peter Obi said that Bisi Akonde is trying to rewrite history? Why are you now trying to talk about what happened in 2022? Something that came on board in 2022 to 2020. Even though we are told during the election that somebody graduated in 1970 for a school that started in 1974. That's what we had last year. That somebody graduated in 1970 for a school that is to start in 1974. So the same thing now. Obedience started 2022, and they are now saying that they caused problem in 2020. So I don't know that the kind of can use, whether it's before life or after life. So for me, he should apologize for that statement.
This year, they need to apologize for blaming the obedient for NSAS.
Sure, because NSAS has no business with obedience. There was nothing like NSAS in there was nothing like obedience in 2020. There was nothing like obedience in 2020. So ascribing the NSAS to obedience is wrong, and what Bisa Akande should do is to apologize to the obedience.
All right, then. You have been listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. As an aside, not really part of our topics, but this has also really been in the news all week, and is basically Shore versus the IG of police. I'd like your take on that issue.
Well, the same way, it's not one of Nigerians that you can threaten with court or with police. At the end of the day, IG is going to withdraw that case.
That's what you see coming out of it.
But
whether even if he withdraws the case, it doesn't stop him from carrying out his duties as IGP till his tenure expires.
I say IGP will withdraw that case because it has no merit.
The same way the case against Faritimi for cyberbullying was withdrawn after Afe Babalola withdrew his case, which is why I asked the question: is it that the parties involved realized that the case was lacking in merit, or if that is the case, if they believed that actually Faritimi was wrong, should the court of law not have been allowed to actually carry out justice?
I say it is phase 7, and the IG this he will withdraw it in the same ground of phase 7. Because okay, now yesterday there was an order that any policeman that has served up to 35 years or attained the age of 60 should retire compulsorily. But Ebotoku will be 60 this year, and he's a policeman. So you can see how they are contradicting themselves.
Last year, the National Assembly actually did something related to that to ensure that the IGP completes his tenure, even if he has clocked 60 years or 35 years in service. That's
changing the goalpost at the middle of March because of an individual. When there's a rule by an institution, it will be changed because of an individual. It is wrong. That's why in Nigeria today we are growing stronger personalities instead of stronger in stronger institutions. That's why nothing is working in the country. So for sure, IGP will withdraw that case.
You have been listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I did say at the beginning of the program that at 5 p.m. the phone lines will be open so that we can get to hear from you right here on the recap. Okay, so I'll let you know the numbers to call so that you can contribute to the conversation. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. If you want to be a part of this conversation, you have some suggestions, some ideas or contributions, do call this line. We'll take your call, and of course we'll want to hear from you. Okay, 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That is the number to call to be a part of these conversation. If you'd rather send a message on WhatsApp, it is 20817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338 on WhatsApp. Send a message and let's connect with you. Okay, we want to connect with you, so connect with us and we will connect with you. Who's gonna be my very first caller for today? Let's talk about these different issues. All right, before you begin to call, in case you're just joining us, let me take you on a recap of the topics which we have spoken about on the recap this evening. We started with the NLC saying it will be going on a protest on February 4th if the Telecom tariff increase increase is not reduced from 50% to 5%. They're saying, okay, even if you want to increase telecom tariffs, right, make it 5%. 50% is too much. Nigerians are already battling under the heaviness, under the weight of the current economic situation, and do not deserve a 50% increase. Bear in mind that the telecom operators actually wanted a 100% increase. Now, from there, we talked about former Minister of Transport and former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi talking about what President Tinubu should have done before removing subsidy. He said the president should have provided social housing and the job creation before removing fuel subsidy. Then we also looked at the presidency accusing El Rufai of plotting to unseat Tinubu after he said that, yes, he's not leaving the APC, but he will continue to criticize the government to force them to change. Then we looked at Affirming Balola withdrawing the suit of alleged defamation against Dele Farotimi. Yes, recall that the IGP also withdrew the case of cyberbullying against him the very next day. And our final topic was on Chief Bisi Akonde saying NSAS protest was designed by the obedience to end Tinubu. And these are the issues we have talked about today on the recap. I can see your messages coming in on WhatsApp. Do keep them coming. Thank you so much. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Welcome to the recap. Good evening and thank you for calling.
Good evening. My name is Collins. I'm calling from Abule.
Welcome, Collins.
Yes. Please, I want to talk about Dele Farotimi and Affirming Balola case.
Okay.
You see, in some cases, especially in criminal cases, sometimes crimes do occur, but it's difficult to prove. It's very, very sometimes difficult to prove cases of criminal cases, whether defamation, cyberbullying. I think, in a nutshell, in my own layman's profession, he is alleging that Affirming Balola has been influencing the court before his judgment, the judgment that is taking to court.
Wait, come again?
And Dele Farotimi is alleging that Affirming Balola has been influencing the judges to get favorable judgment. I think that is what I'm trying to understand.
Accused him of corrupting the judiciary in his book.
When Affirming Balola, take for example, when these bribes were changing hands, he was not there. This may be true, because sometimes you don't have the proof, but sometimes these things that are happening, that is true.
But if you accuse somebody of something, you should be able to prove it, don't you think so?
But okay, you take your car, and the car has been stolen, maybe until forever they will not see it. Does it mean that your car was not stolen?
Thank you so much for your call. Thank you.
So, I think Dele has been able to bring up a case that will even shake the judiciary, so that they will sit up. That what they are doing, this should be the hope of a last common man on the street. Where do you run to if the judiciary is only for the rich people? So I think we have started shaking the judiciary so that they themselves will sit up and know that even what they did in secret is being exposed. Some people do know it. Maybe one day this country will be fine for all of us to live. After all, America, where we were running to, then Trump is saying everybody should live. So let's see where we will run to now.
Thank you for your call. Thank you for your call. I appreciate it so much. All right, then 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. I want to hear from you, so call me up. 0803-692-9933 on WhatsApp. It's 0817-175-6338. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening.
Turn down the volume on your radio set, please. Turn down the volume on your radio set.
Okay, I've done that.
All right, let's hear from you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. He can hear you. Please go ahead.
My name is Argentina.
Welcome,
I'm calling
Argentina.
from Mago.
Welcome.
Yeah. I want to make the issue of our Rotimi Amechi, former Minister of Transportation.
Okay.
Yeah. What he said, and the RFI, what he said. Yeah. What they are not benefiting from the government, they will be saying rubbish. Nobody should trust them. That is the thing. They are failure to this country. Because if Buhari was in the post, was the former president of Nigeria, they didn't say all those things because they are benefiting. Yeah, they are not benefiting, but no any position on them. That's why they are casting this president. I know that our president is doing well. He will be president, he will be doing well. But anyone that wants to say this thing that is benefiting for Nigeria, and they are
Thank you for your call, Argentina. Thank you so much for your call. I appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Choma, the daughter of Innocent.
That's me. How are you doing? What's your name and location, please?
I'm doing good.
Great to hear from you.
Please, stop relegating my man to the other side.
I don't understand.
You have so much relegation to down the speaker. Please let me hear you short.
Yeah. Okay, oh, please greet them so that they can.
Good evening. Good evening.
No more.
Where are you calling from? What's your name?
My name is Mr. Keep It Civil. Always civil.
Okay, make sure you keep it civil, okay? Let's hear from you.
All right, someone. Let me start with Subsidy and Conde or whatever you call it. See, this is how an elderly man promotes propaganda. This is how they promote propaganda and hatred to a certain tribe in this country. I don't know if they want to go to the toilet. They will call people. They want to cook their food. They will call people. They want to unite. They will call people. Waiting people to do that.
But he didn't talk. He didn't say obedo. He said obedient because even when the host asked him, obedient have to do with Peter Obi.
And the name obedient was rated from Peter Obi. True or false? The name obedient related from Peter Obi. All right? Just like now, if I say all pacifiers are all liars, I mean I'm talking to Tinubu, but Bola Ahmed is Tinubu, but fires. Yes. So anybody who is calling obedience is directly and indirectly talking to Peter Obi. So DC Akonde saying that Peter Obi and obedience, they are the one who sponsored and manufactured South protest. There are people who was still a bona fide member of DDT at the time 2020. And Bola Ahmed have not even come out to tell Nigerians that we were going to contest the 2023 election. The last time I checked, Tinubu was in power. So how can people be who is still a bona fide member of DDT and the obedience which are not come to place at the time when NSAS was held? How can they be the one that sponsor manufacture NSAS protest in order to destroy Tinubu's career or being president or whatever? Must stop me now. They are all liars. They are all lies. But it pains you when an elderly man like Mr. who is more of either in his early 80s now, will be telling this kind of lie. And thank God that whenever you tell her, you will see yourself. Instead of Nigerians are late, and you are hungry, and you are angry. Let Mr. Control come out and go to farm. Here farmers are farming. And thank God that the next day, people we are choosing their farm, one say.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your call. We need to hear from others, okay? Let's hear from other people. Let's hear from other people. Is it not your own country too? What's happened?
Not my country.
It's your
Not
country,
my country.
very, very your country.
Nigeria
No
cannot
be a go
be
you
my
dey
country.
live, I be where. Thank you
Not
for
be
your
my
call.
country.
Thank you
Not
for your
my
call.
country.
Thank you. Now your country, whether you like it or not. Which I'm saying no be your country. Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We're discussing the issues that made the major headlines during the week. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. What's your name and location, please? Hello, can you hear me?
Good evening, I can hear you.
Good evening. This is so much better. Thank you. What's your name and location, please?
Yes, my name is Mr. E. Yes, that's my name.
Mr. E. All right, go ahead.
Auntie Shoma, make a break and down. They get with you, I won't talk about what's going on now. Because these people are, to me, what I'm hearing in the radio is just like everybody is coming up with their opinion, just to talk.
Everybody is doing what?
Everybody is coming up with their own opinion. And I say I'm saying try to contribute to what's going on in the country. But to me, what I'm saying is that are experiencing this thing. It's not even people that are there. There are some people that are down here feeling this thing every day. As in, I wish I can see these people. They would like to go their neck. They know the pain that people have seen. Okay, now I want to say something about. I don't know why they are already talking about this topic. Because I'm not in front of anybody, but I know they are looking for a better person. But what the government is doing to this nation and this new generation, they are not happy. Be careful, because what is coming out from this generation is not by what my father is doing and my father was there. From 2000 children now, 25 years ago, it's not a joke. If they experience this thing, the next generation will become fire. So they should talk to these people, to this increase of education, they should bring everything down. This generation, the best. So, thank you.
Thank you for your call. Appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. I definitely want to hear from you, so call me up. What's your name and location, please? Welcome to the recap.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Mayor.
Welcome, Mayor. Thank you for calling.
No, not Mayor, Miracle.
Miracle. Thank you, Miracle. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
No, I just want to greet you.
That's what you called for. All the things they happen for this country not concern you.
You know, concern me.
Eh? If you like say your papa na governor.
Which governor?
Thank you for your call. I appreciate you. I greet you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. What's your name and location, please?
Answer.
Chioma.
Shoma, sorry. Good afternoon or evening.
Good evening to you as well. How you doing?
Fine. My name is Mr. Truth. The Truth.
Mr. Truth, the Truth. All right, go ahead. Let's hear from you, Mr. Truth.
One, concerning the NLC, Ijaru and the school, they are hypocrites. They say that when everything was increased upward, they didn't react. When their salary was doubled, they did not react. The judiciary, you just name everything in this country, they keep mute. The data that we are using to call now is very, very important, and all of which was food increased, NEPA increased, everything on the up. They did not that time. So they should not create another chaotic or problem to call or to receive call or to send that out. They should stop that nonsense, that hypocrite. Then number two, concerning Baba, whatever. It's old age. There are times when old age comes, the way you behave in life, small died. And I want to know, as I said, the truth exalts a nation. Where is the truth in this country? When our head, the hip, the school that was not founded, established, as a part out of school. So from the top, the Senate, the ministers, to the bottom, to the lower range, they are all no truth, they are liars. They are here to steal, to kill, and to destroy, according to American. They are there, no truth. Any government parasector, you just name it. The senators, the government, you just name it. Nigeria was built on lying, and whatever you lie, there's no truth. Truth exalts the nation, and the opposite is the reproach. Is it the annex? Where is the truth in the annex? Where is the truth? Tell me, concerning all institutions, where is the truth? So we are in for it. Only
Thank
God
you
can
so
save
much
us.
for your call. Thank you for your call. I appreciate it. All right. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of these conversation right here on the recap on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. How you doing?
Good evening.
Hi. What's your name and location, please?
Okangolina.
Welcome, Okangbelina. It's been a while. How have you been?
I do, my sister. Sometimes I just prefer to be staying and watching how Nigeria is spoiling.
Wow.
Yeah. I greet your guest.
He greets you too.
They are saying that this former governor of Kaduna State, is trying to plot the downfall of their government. And then meanwhile, the man is in the APC and is criticizing them. Is that not the same thing that this other man, what's his name, former River State governor, what's that name, sir?
Rotimi Amechi.
No.
Yes, Wike.
Wike is in PDP and is spoiling PDP. So if we have another person in APC that is trying to do the same thing, I think I like it. He should do the same thing that Wike is doing. Let's see how it goes. And on the other man, Farotimi, that they release his case. If that man is listening to me, he should take them to court. He should take them to court. This is the same man that they took to Kwara State or somewhere to go and harass him, put him in a handcuff as if he stole something. Is he a criminal? This is the time he should press for charges. That you cannot leave that matter to die like that. Are you hearing me?
Okay.
Yes. If I'm that man, I will not leave this case. If there's anything, I'll take them to court. I know that the judiciary is corrupt.
Even as the case has been withdrawn, you would want to continue.
I will take my own now. I will start a fresh case against you. Why will you take the man and go and lock him up? Did he steal your fowl? The man didn't do anything. Why this is just a civil case. Why will you take him and go and put handcuff on him? So if I'm the one, I will begin a new case now. This is the time that will hear me. This is the time that will hear my own wahala. So I don't know whether you can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. Appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of these conversations. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hi.
Sure,
Hi.
Sure, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, my dear. What about the Mr. Speaker? Is he there?
Yes, Mr. Noske is here. He can hear you. Please greet your fans.
Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the telcos, I disagreed totally.
On the what?
On the
issue of the telcos.
See, Chioma, telco is all over the world one of the richest companies we have. This is my industry. So the issue of giving them 50% is null and void. If you say, okay, let us give them like 10% or 5% to buy their fuel, the difference, to buy their fuel, to fuel their equipment, then I will agree. But giving them, you cannot do it in South Africa, increasing tariff 50%. It can never ever happen in South Africa. So it's only in Nigeria where we have free, anything can go, anything can tax anybody anyhow and as we like. And then they will keep silent. You can try, if you try it in South Africa, South Africa get burnt. Yes, I'm telling you before, but man, telcos are making money. Each time they will trigger their person. They will trigger their person 20 naira for almost 50 million people in Nigeria. And they will be rolling in billions of naira. So what are you telling me? This is my industry. Telco is one of the richest companies. They are even richer than Nigeria. If you ask me to say, check the records. Check the records of telcos. They are richer than Nigeria. So this is only what I want to tell Mr. Nnamdi. Mr. Nnamdi, correct that impression, please.
So they are rich enough to not ask for a 50% increase. All right. Thank you for your call. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name and location, please?
Show me no sense. This is Obi calling from Ikeja.
Welcome, Obi. Thank you so much for calling.
I'm not seek a compliment, so I agree to.
Thank you so much.
My take is on BC Akonde. I thought it was Leto Juku that caused answers. I don't know that.
As how now?
Yeah, because I'm confused. I thought it's Leto Juku. It's not to be this Leto Juku that caused answers. Well, that's by the side. Amechi, what do you call them? They should keep it up. They should fight on so that we will have a balance in the politics. That's what we're expecting. Let the beat go on before 27, so we'll know what is going to be. They cannot be putting fire on the opposition, and they think they will have peace. They will not have peace now. Let the fire go on everywhere, so that we'll know how 27 will be. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your call. Surely appreciated. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm speaking from which my name is Nnamdi.
Welcome.
Yeah, my contribution to the issue about this Akonde is that at a certain age, every man start to lose memory. I'm praying for myself because I'm 88 and I don't know myself and who is older than one another. All I'm praying for him is that those of us at this age, may God not allow us to lose our memory to talk what we are not sure of. And I feel, I condemn many people, even the Yorubas, when they say when somebody is dancing badly in the open market, all people will be scratching their eyelid. Majority of Yorubas, even about yesterday when I was listening to him at Narai television, he was scratching his eyelid, which means what he said, every one of them knows that man was talking out of sense or he must have lost memory. May God help him to recall his memory. Thank you.
Thank you for your call. 0803-692-9933. Mr. Ansky, I'd like you to respond to that caller who said that the telecom industry, telecom operators, they are so rich that it's not this 50% that is going to help their businesses.
Dangote is so rich and he's still increasing prices of cement and petrol. So the issue, the cost of doing business is increasing on a daily basis because of the malfunctioning of government. So there's no way you cannot increase. The cost of business is increasing. You are paying salaries. You are paying more on everything. The NLC demanded for increase and they get it. My main concern is they saying that they are going to shut down all the country. Understand me? That's my main concern. I said Telecom increase in tariff of Telecom is not our main business. It's not our main concern. Our main concern is the hike in fuel, hike in electricity, hike in the price of food. So they should start shutting down the country with all those issues.
0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be part of this conversation. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening, my sister. I greet our big daddy.
He greets you too. Thank you so much for joining us.
And what I see in all these things, we're talking about the increase in this, increase in that. This government is not ready to bring out anything because if they want to, it is not palliative they will be talking about. They want to give these people certain set of people's kind of money, certain amount of money. Let them address the issue of insecurity. The day the government will start their issue addressing the issue of insecurity in this country, it means this country is beginning to see the light of the day. But outside that, increase that, so there's no way they will bring any without we production. If there's no production in this country, we are not producing anything. We'll continue to experience this. And concerning the telcos, like somebody told me, he said despite the war in Ukraine and in Russia, that in Austria, if government want to increase anything at all, it's cent. It's even the cent is like talking about fourth of a cent will be the increase that will not even feel the brunt at all. You will not feel the brunt at all that this thing is affecting. They know they will affect them, but it's little minute, increase. But yeah, it's just that they want to punish us. And concerning the Baba Akonde, listen to his voice and listen to the man in Asurok. You know that the best of the same feathers clubs together.
Mom, you didn't tell us your name and where you're calling from.
God, this is Grandma Maggie Odibo calling from Mushudi. And some of your callers too. Most of them were liars. When you ask them what is their name, they will say one will say is Koboko, one will say Celebration, one will say another. They are not telling you their real names. They are also lying.
Grandma, now wait till person say make you call them, you go call them now. Thank you so much, Grandma Maggie. Thank you so much. Yes, he hears you. Thank you so much for your call. You've heard from Grandma Maggie Odibo. She says if we ask you your name, please make like tell us your real name. Tell us your government name, not the name, your guy name that they know you by on your street. Okay, Mr. Keep it civil. That bullet is coming for you. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good evening, Shama.
Good evening. What's your name and location, please?
I'm Edward calling from Sango.
Welcome, Edward.
Help me greet Shinak.
Mr. Anosike is here, yes.
He's a wise man.
Good evening, Mr. Anosike. He said, make I greet you.
Yeah, see, this Affair Babalola matter, withdrawing that case. Before they go to write anything out, supposed to have facts and figures before I publish that. Supposed not to withdraw that case now. Because when people are pleading, when he place a bail bond of 15 million, 30 million, he not agree with anybody. Until that guy affect the bail bond and got free. Then another one is to control the case. He's supposed to leave that case. Let us see the truth of what that man wrote. So it's to open so many things in the judiciary. Then second, coming back again, if our president loved Nigeria very well, all these reforms that he's bringing to the table, to the National Assembly, is supposed to look what the general masses are complaining about electronic voting. It's supposed to place it on an executive order because he knows very well that is where the root of corruption started in this Nigeria. These reforms, what the Nigerian system want him to do, not all these many reforms have been doing. Let him pick two reforms, judiciary reforms, and ANEC, check into the Electoral Act and bring that electronic voting. Because in Ghana, they say voting start counting from polling centers. Let Nigerian voting start counting on polling centers. Let him place an executive orders that anytime they are bringing result, let the result start counting immediately. Then let that result be rigged with ANEC and let them remove this present ANEC because Nigerians does not have assurance with this kind of people. Let him from now, this 2025, let him start to implement orders that will favor Nigerian people because we are tired. We are tired with all these reforms. The reforms is not working for Nigeria. Let him do that reform, electronic voting, that will work for Nigeria, please. That's my concern.
Thank you for your call. Appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. My name is Chama Innocent. What is your name and where are you calling me from?
Yeah, good evening, Chama.
Good evening.
God bless you. I'm Chief Nnamdi, calling from Nsolo.
Welcome, Chief.
Thank you very much. You see, this what they are saying all about. See, if that didn't take place, how will somebody win election? Do you understand me? Hello?
Okay.
If that reforms they are saying about, if it takes place, how do somebody win election? You see, we know what is going in Nigeria. I thought I said, and that yet is not yet independent. How can election come? They rob everything up, both judiciary, everywhere. People are still sitting, begging. They are doing whatever they like. So let's do, because the law is not.
Hello, are you there? All right, give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. 26 minutes before 6 p.m. We definitely want to hear from you. Our voice of the people, 90.3 FM. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name and location, please?
Okay, I'm Mr. Paulinus Wankwa. I'm calling from Mushin.
Welcome, Mr. Paulinus.
Thank you. Actually, I just want to make small correction in what somebody said in the radio there about Ekweme. Ekweme did not build any prison in Oko, but that thing happened in Ezinifite, when another neighboring town and one town are dragging land, and they call Shagari. They settled the peace by building that prison yard there. That was what actually happened. So he cannot just say he built a prison yard in Doko. That's why he got caught with Nama. They want to give him. It's a typical lie. Thank you for the correction.
Thank you for your call. Thank you so much. Mr. Peter Noske, this person is saying that you did not get your facts correctly.
What did he said? What the person said?
Oh, he said that there was a dispute and the prison was built at Ezinifite, right? And so it wasn't Ekweme that built the prison.
But who?
He said he was Shagari came in to broker peace between quarreling communities, and that was how the prison was built. Okay,
and he said, I'm not saying that somebody said. I'm telling you what I did. I said that Ekweme came to Nsukka to visit Daniel Ugu, who was the health minister at that point in time. Understand? They bought a cow for that's as a gift to him. Understand me? We were living that's on the same street. We are living on the same street, and Zeke was living at the next street. Understand? Me, I don't say that I heard. Me and two other people, we went and cut that rope, just into the bush.
He's not saying that you did not cut the rope. It's just the building of the prison
excuse me. Then then he made his investigations in the evening. They came to our house. Understand? Or the man rake and go. I know what I did because Vic is living there. Most of us there belong to the MPP, and Daniel Ugu, who was the Minister of Health, belonged to an NPN, which is Hausa Party at that point in time. Understand me? So he can't tell me what I did. The children of this Ugu are still alive today, and two are in Lagos as we speak.
You are maintaining that Ekweme was the one who built that prison.
Ekweme was the vice president.
All right, then 0803-692-9933, 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. If you'd rather send a message on WhatsApp or call me on WhatsApp, it's on 0817-175-6338, 0817-175-6338 on WhatsApp. Okay, hello there. Welcome to Recap. How are you doing? Good evening. You have to give me a call back. It's so noisy. All right, we have quite a number of comments on YouTube and some messages on WhatsApp. Okay, I think I should start taking those messages. All right, let's just finish up with the calls before we start taking messages. 0803-692-9933. Hello there. Welcome to the recap. Hello. I'm so sorry. It's so noisy. Please give me a call back, okay? I definitely want to hear from you, but please give me a call back or send a message. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello?
I'm Michael Ogunsanya. I'm calling from Sule.
Lanre Ogunsanya from Sule. Michael Ogunsanya. All right, Michael. Thank you so much for your call. Please go ahead.
But from what I heard regarding, the federal government, trying to, I think, increase this and increase. The cost of living is very high, and to me, I don't think increment on any whatever that concerns the country is the best, to evolve now. For me, from what you said.
Hello, are you there, Michael Ogunsanya? Oh dear, you're gonna have to give me a call back, okay? Call me back. I definitely want to hear from you. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Hello there. Welcome to the recap. Hi. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Chuka. I'm calling from Ariobo.
Welcome, Chuka. Let's hear from you, please.
My greetings to Mr. Anosike.
Hey, good to you too.
Grandma got me tickled when she was protesting about the way some people call their name. You should have enlightened her that what is critical to the station is the number of the caller, not the pseudonym.
We can't even see the phone numbers, but at the end of the day, when you introduce yourself with whatever name, we just accept it, okay?
Yes,
but thank you so much.
It's also possible to find out the number. It's possible to find out the number of the caller from the studio.
We wouldn't need to do that if there is no problem, okay? And we do not pray to have problems with any of our callers. But thank you. I understand your point. Thank you. Please go ahead with your contribution.
I just wanted to make sure she come and then she can call at any point in time.
Hello, can you hear me? Oh dear. All right, we'll take one more call, just one more call, because we have quite a plethora of messages that we need to take. All right, welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Tiana.
Good evening to you. How are you doing today?
Fine, I'm good. And you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah, please, I want you to enlighten me on the date of the forthcoming National Youth Conference, please, and please.
The what?
The forthcoming National Youth Conference. When is it going to take place?
Oh, the National Youth Confab. When it to take place? That's all you want to know.
Yes.
All right. Well, the presidency fixed February 2025. We're already in February, okay? When the date comes out, you definitely know about it.
All right.
Thank you so much. Remember that this has been fixed since December. They just said February 2025. Okay, we're to have a 30-day National Youth Conference to address critical issues that are facing the country's youth. Issues like unemployment, education, political participation. There are others that should be added as well. All right. Remember that this is an offshoot of what some people have termed youth-led protests, like the End Bad Governance in August 2024, Fearless in October 2024, and I dare go way back to 2020 to say the End SARS protest as well. Okay, some people have touted the National Youth Confab as a bold step forward, a way to move forward, to have conversations with the youth who are the drivers of Nigeria's conversation as it is right now. But we just know it's supposed to be in February. Hopefully the presidency remembers and then starts on it. Okay, but thank you so much for your call. Thank you for helping us reminisce. You have been listening to the Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. This has been the recap. Okay, we will now go ahead to take your comments on YouTube and your messages on our WhatsApp platform. Beginning from YouTube, Ojebe Eke says, when elders who are supposed to tell the truth lie, then there is no hope for the country. Disintegration or Islamization, Nigerians must choose one. Chibuzo Leonard says, Chairman NLC are joking. We are not interested because when we need them to go on protest, they did not. So they are not serious. My name is Chibuzo from Suliri, Lawansin. Okay, Kenneth the Carphone says, happy weekend, my people. Stop wasting your time. Nigeria is no more what? Thanks. God Almighty protect you all. Ojebeke says Yugoslavia or Czechoslovakia. Nigeria must choose one. Trosin says, hope Mr. Nosike prayed and sanitized that seat before sitting, because that is the same seat Peter Osifo sat on earlier today. Oladiwale says, since there is no statute of limitation on fraud, with the anti-graft bodies go after and persecute all the public servants and politicians past and present, shall we then call the elders that knows the truth but fail to acknowledge it agbayas? Solutions are at the fingertips of leadership, but they have no will to actuate actions. Could that be a complicity problem? Questions, Oladiwale. Who's going to answer all of these questions? That is the question. All right, then I'm now taking your messages on WhatsApp. Keep them coming. Send the message to 0817-175-6338 if you want to send a message. Good afternoon, VOP. NLC should relax. Enough of the noise. Where was NLC when pump price of fuel was dangerously hiked? Tariff of power was hiked. Inflation ravaged the country. Let us think of something else. Chima from Surulere. Thank you for your message. Chima, greetings to you and your guest. If I were delivery to meet, now I would drag the case because Affirming Balola messed him up unlawfully. Thanks. Daniel from Oshodi. Thank you so much for your message, Daniel from Oshodi. NLC is no longer relevant to Nigerian people. Where were they when there was increase in fuel several times? VAT, the arrest of NBAD governance protesters, increase in electricity without power supply. All these increments are the cost in other areas like telecom sector and other sectors. Chinemere from Agbara. Choma Innocent and Miss Anaske, good evening and happy new month. Happy new month to you as well. On Erufai and Tinubu, why is Tinubu afraid of being chased out of Aso Rock? Is he going to be there forever? When he's behaving as a demigod, let him not forget that power belongs to the people. I disagree with Mr. Anaske on fuel subsidy removal being a fraud. Other countries are subsidizing energy, especially for the people. It's insecurity of political leaders and the endemic corruption in the Nigerian system. On the NLC strike, it's insincerity to expect telecom tariff to remain the same with about 40% inflation in the country. Is there any goods or services that has remained the same since the fuel subsidy is gone? Government should have given telecom a tax rebate, a reduced or waiver on the import telecom equipment to cushion the effect of inflation. Francis from Command Road, Ikpaja. Good evening. Since the infamous announcement of fuel subsidy removal, the economy has been on standstill as hundreds of Nigerians are dying of hunger. Unemployment rate on the high-speed manufacturing companies are relocating to our neighboring countries. Prices of commodities are on the increase per minute, and yet the labor leaders look the other way, knowing fully well that corruption in the oil industry and exchange rate of foreign currencies are the bane to the calamity that befall our dear country. The proposed labor strike should not be on the increase in the price of telecom service, but compelling the government to bring back the fuel pump price to the reach of ordinary Nigerians and the political will to stop the corruption in our foreign exchange market. Stephen Akinbisola from Ijegun, Lagos. Thank you so much for your message, Stephen. Good afternoon. The reason that President Tinubu removed petrol subsidies is vendetta against the PDP. He thought by removing it, it would impoverish most of his political rivals. There was no sincere thinking towards subsidy, not to talk of what it would have done to the consequences. Now he has failed. In the case of Rotimi Amechi's comments, look, more of that is highly needed now. Tochukwu Ajele Thompson from Obanikoro. I wanted to talk on the arrest of Showore. Police IGP should better focus on the biting issues bedeviling Nigeria rather than chasing shadows in the concocted case against Showore, because it's just making him more popular, just like what we all witnessed in Affirming Balola versus Dele Farutimi case. So henceforth, let them know that amending the law to suit one man is a wrong one, and will not augur well for the polity going forward. Chika Bende from Trade Fair in Lagos. Thank you so much for your message, Chika Bende. Okay. Nigerians questioning the FIRS 21 trillion naira returns, but it's about how money from other sources. Why is the government on a borrowing spree despite these returns? Good evening, Chioma and the big boss, Mr. Anoske. I'm Oscar from Oshodi. As far as I'm concerned, Anoske, you remain the best analysis. Your analysis is confirmed. I'm enjoying you. Keep the good work. VOP FM, the sky is your limit. Thank you so much, Oscar from Oshodi. We really appreciate your message. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Nosuke and Chioma. One, Mr. President is as guilty as the IG until proven innocent. Guilty of what? The IG, who is expected to be a law enforcement agent, should know better than Mr. President. Okay, because of his appointment, the amendment of the Police Act in favor of the IG at the expense of the subordinate would have a ripple effect now or later and replicate in other arms of the government. It's a precedent that has been set by President Tinubu in favor of the IG, which in turn benefits Mr. President at the expense of others. Number two, the NLC should pipe down and go to bed with regards to telco's tariff. Rather, they should tackle the inflation from the source and not the ripple effect. Number three, hooray, Trump is working. Let him follow suit. The same pattern applies in repatriating undocumented immigrants. Repatriate African stolen assets and funds stashed in North and South American treasuries. Kudos to Trump. Trump should note that the ripple effects of the transatlantic slave trade in 1780s, whereby an average 78,000 enslaved people were brought to America each year during this decade. About half the captives were transported from Africa in ships of British, Portuguese, and French merchant traders. Consequently, African continent has been devastated as you made away with African wealth. Donald Trump. Deporting Africans today without solving their challenges, of which you are hugely responsible for, reopens a Pandora's box. Chisco from Ijegu, Ijagema, Tarin Road. Finally, congratulations, Chisco. I remember when this road used to be Jaga Jaga Road, and then it became Grading Road, and now it's Tarin Road. It seems that your local government is working. Your local government chairman is working. Abi, who they do the road? Congratulations, Chisco. Congratulations to you. Good evening, Mr. Peter Nosuke and Chioma. One, I start with the Labour president, which is Ajero. On set, I know that Ajero will never be a good Labour leader. You know, I'm before. Someone that doesn't know what to do, the only way he cares for is to let the federal government negotiate money into my account using medium tactic of strikes to deceive Nigerians. How can a selfish and self-centered person represent multitude of workers' plight in Nigeria? Number two, Amechi coming to be telling Nigerians how Tinubu should remove fuel subsidies, not what Nigerians should be listening to, because he's only trying to make an attraction of headline. Amechi and Tinubu are the same kind of person, because there are a bunch of rough reasons being he's not part of the ruling party again. Number three, El-Rufai and Amechi are all political. I know with political gain, nobody go talk this on. They are looking for their own selfish ambition to criticize the government in order to win fragile hearts of Nigerians that does not keep history. All are birds of the same feather. Number four, in the aspect of removal on time. Thank you, Kenneth from Alagbado. Good evening, Chioma. Honestly, I don't like the way Affirming Balola withdrew the case from the court. Somebody accused you and you took him to court. Somebody accused you and you took him to court. So why can't you see it through? So we'll know who is at fault, whether Farotimi is accusing him wrongly or Farotimi is actually telling the truth. Thank you, Vincent from Mushin. Good evening, Chioma Innocent. My name is Chukuma from Ilasamaja. If President Tinubu Bola had thought it well, or if he had the citizens in mind for removing the subsidy, he could have gotten a committee to look at it. The work of the committee will be first. How much liters of fuel do we consume in this country? They have been saying we consume 65-70 million liters of fuel, which is not correct. Our consumption is now up to 30 million liters. So the committee will tell the president cut off this surplus first and pay subsidy on 30 million liters. Then the committee will still go into details of the surplus of 35 to 40 million liters. Then price of fuel could have been remained on the same price of 193 or 200 per liter, which I know we don't consume 30 million liters in this country. We will not have gotten ourselves into problem of hardship because transport will not go up like this. Chukuma from Ilasamaja. Okay, good afternoon, Chioma. I sent this message last Tuesday. BC Akonde is very old and may have loss of memory. Stanley from Ojoy. Now you collecting memory where you know say you don't lose. Ejo. Some journalists have turned the media into Big Brother show or a comedy house where all manner of jesters are granted audience, like Peter Osifo on Citizen Jones show. What a pity. To address Mr. Akonde's business allegations linking NSAS to Obi, I will quote CP Chuk's response addressing Wole Soyinka's statement when he tried to rubbish Peter Obi. The quote goes, Wole Soyinka is getting senile or Alzheimer's has set in. He needs clinical examination so we know his state of health. Describing him as someone who is of age and is affecting him, that no one should pay attention or join issues with him. I think such response is appropriate for BC Akonde and no one should take him serious. As for Amechi, he's saying the obvious. He didn't exonerate himself from the allegations. I don't have to like him to agree with him. I'm happy both Amechi, El-Rufai and more aggrieved APC members will spring up to destabilize the APC from now to 2027 and beyond. TIP. IY. Okay. Chama, please, for the woman accusing callers of using fake name, please ask her if she's working for DSS. Is the name of callers the reason for the collapse of our economy? Madam Biko Zukwanu Ike Okangbe Lina. Chama, all the telcos are richer than Nigeria. Check their profit after tax. There is no need for that increment. Joe from Bariga. Good evening, Sister Chama and the rare gem, Mr. Noske in the studio. Let it be made clear, we the Nigerian people do not just want political wrestlers to wrestle power from APC come 2027. We want political wrestlers who will wrestle power to benefit the masses and create a better Nigeria, as declared by the man of goodwill, Mr. Peter Obi Egege from Agege. Good evening, Mr. Anoske, my journalist of the year, and Chioma. For BC Akonde saying NSAS was caused by obedience, linked with Obi, and that it was used to ruin Tinubu's political career. NSAS was 2020 and caused by police brutality. Obi was not even ready for his presidency ambition. So when you see all these old low-grade mind psychopaths that bring lie and hypocrisy to tarnish Obi's image, they cannot work again. They want to use ethnic and religious bigotry to divide and rule. Courtesy your president. You can see them from Bayo Nonuga, Felix Morkan, Daniel Buhala, etc. Birds of the same feathers flock together. Because of monetary game, it's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Daya from Lagos finally sent a different message. Thank you so much for your message. Surely do appreciate it. Would you have some more comments on YouTube? Chicken Wosu says, Mazi Anoske, you're absolutely right. Vice President Alex Ekweme used his office as VP to build prison in the land that was in dispute between Oko and Orumba communities. Tochukwu Onuegbu says, good evening everyone in the studio, please. I don't know where this is in Nigeria. Okay, where this Nigeria? Maybe he's going to. Ojebe Eke says, Showore is a popular activist. Is he changing anything? I don't think so. Why is Atiku Kwankwaso and El Rufai not interested in Showore but Peter Obi? Showore can help El Rufai unseat Tinubu. Thank you so much for all your several different opinions, your calls, and your messages. Unfortunately, it's time for us to go. Just before we go, let's get your concluding thoughts on what we've discussed today.
Well, my take is on NLC threatening that to shut down the country on February 4th because of the hike increase in Telecom charges. I said that they shouldn't do that. We have more bigger problems, like the increase in fuel, like the hike in electricity. These are issues that confronts more people in the country. So we shouldn't leave the elephant and begin to chase ants. That's my take.
All right, then it's time for us to go. Thank you so much for being a part of this program this evening. My name is Chioma Innocent, and I just want to implore you, it's a new month. I hope you've been doing everything you said you do to make your life better. I hope you've been trying your best to achieve your goals this year, okay? It's a new month. Remember to always do the best that you can to make Nigeria better in your own little corner of the world. You can find us on all social media platforms at VOP 903 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent. You have a good evening. The world news at 6 comes up short.